is it cold? Welcome to another edition of Sheepy Hollow. We're on a Sunday and we're heading to the groomers because it happens to be open, and I've got some other tasks, here it is, to do. So we're heading to Granny's place first. We're gonna go to Mom's, then the groomer, scoop and save, or Bath and Beyond. Clean the Jeep, maybe. How cold is it out there? Oh, -6, okay. Then go to Costco, then go to Walmart. And the Co-op Farm Supply. I don't think it's open on a freaking Sunday. But we'll see. We'll see. So first place is to get to Granny's. The road should be okay. And those lifesavers, that's not a... You get these lifesavers in this large package. And the damn things are individually wrapped inside. So you got to deal with that too. Okay, steering wheel's warm enough to go. And we've got Storm loaded in the back. That went tickety-boo. And there is no mail today. Duh, it is Sunday. And I think I underdressed. I put my leather vest on and my leather jacket, but I think the problem's going to be it's not going to be warm enough. So, off we go. Oops, watch out for this. You can pay attention here. Here's the first one. Now we're going into 2 weeks now that I've informed that politician. We need some signs here. My wife's on his back to get the government that's supposed to chip seal all of this as well. We'd have a nice normal road coming out here. We pay the same taxes, so why in the hell don't you give us the frickin' chip seal you promised us? And I don't know how many years ago it was. When we first moved in here, or down here where we bought it in 2013, we moved back in 2016, so that's 7 years or 6 years ago. 6, I guess. This road was terrible. Oh, we got snowmobilers. Here. They go up that trails around here on the Irving property. Anyway, this road was really bad. This section in front where that mailbox is, to the next little hill, that had a pool of water in there. Quite impressive there, Ted had. And wherever the culverts crossed the road collapsed. Here's one of them up here that they fixed, but still not very good shape, right here. So that's just how things go around here. Government doesn't make promises, kisses your baby, that's the last time you see him. Until the next election. This is where the guy was parked when it took the front of his car off. I see it's somewhat patched up now. Whole front bumper and everything. There was parts all the way down to this next house here. Farmer friend. He's got a beautiful puppy in there, man. I'd like to get that guy. So that'd be 4. You get too many. somebody way down there. It's an interesting place, boy, I tell you. I wouldn't give this up for nothing, though. Which reminds me, I should get a lottery ticket. My luck is I'd probably win. Then that freaking Putin there start sending missiles everywhere. Nuclear ones. What a freaking idiot. The entire thing. Oh well, I'm not getting into it. Nothing I can do about it. And there ain't no point worrying about it. Oh, what do we got blocking the road here? Uncle Jimmy. That's Jimmy Fever. And that's Donnie. I think those two guys consume more beer. What's this? What's the band? Wee-ew! This is that big one. We've got those two fellas there probably drink more than the entire road does. They like their beer. So anyway, I thought, if I can remember, when I make a video, we'll have a story time by Bob section. And last night I stayed up a little bit late to write about my graduation in a 1970s group. This group that I belong to, you talk about the 1970s as if it's the 1970s. So here goes with the first story from Bob. It's 1973. It's May. And tonight I'm going to graduate from high school. I had to take an extra correspondence course in April because I didn't have enough credits. You needed 100, and I needed to get one more course to make sure I had the 100, and then they would officially graduate me with the class, which is happening tonight in 1973. Okay, so I'm going to try to keep it in the 1973 part. So me and my buddy Dorn, great guy, we're both 20 years old. We got swayed in life when we were a little younger. We never did finish school, so we both ended up coming back to school when we were 19. We quit our jobs, which we're going to be doing for the rest of our lives if we didn't go back to school and get a better job. So anyway, we go to school in the morning, and the teachers are all ordering kids around this way, that way. They pass out the gowns and the hats for us to wear in our mock-up drill. So we finally got through that, showed us where we're going to sit and everything like that. And they let us go about 11 o'clock in the morning. And they said, be back at 7 with some the ceremonies will start shortly after that. No problem. So, I said to Dorn, hey, we got lots of time. Let's go to the bar. It's not far. It's about, I think, about 5 or 6 blocks away from the school. So, off we go. We're in the bar. Beer's 20 cents a glass for draft. And we ordered a tray. I can't remember how many glasses you can fit in a tray, but there was about 20 beer. 10 each. Well, we drank them. That didn't take very long. And because we didn't have any lunch, Don thought it'd be a good idea that we get something to eat while we were sitting there as well. Geez, pickled eggs, he says. I thought, yeah, okay, I've never tried them before. But anyway, when you had a few beers in you already, quite a few, because we had on our second tray already, the pickled eggs are going down pretty good too. So anyway, long story short, Don slides off his chair onto the floor. I wouldn't want to be on the barroom floor for nothing in the world. That's got to be the filthiest thing. You can smell it when you walk into the bar. It smells like cigarettes and cheap beer. Anyway, he's on the floor. The waiter comes up and kicks us out. You guys have had enough. We're done with you. So anyway, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We've been in there just about 4 hours, drinking pretty quick as it was. We get outside, and geez, if Don's knees didn't go wobbly all again, and he falls down on the pavement. We look like a couple of long-haired bums outside the bar, and it's on one of Calgary's main streets, 16th Avenue and Center Street. All traffic going east and west, north and south seems to hit that intersection. So anyway, he says, I get Donnie up on his feet. We go over to the phone, and I have to help him get the phone number. He's got the phone number, but I have to help him dial it because he couldn't read because everything was blurry. So we phone his sister, and she says, I'll pick him up at the school. Okay, so we turn around and head back to the school. His sister's already there waiting for us. I put Don into the car, and I said, I'll see you at 7, and he nods his head in acknowledgement, and off he goes with his sister. Cute-looking sister, too. But she was kind of like a lot older than the both of us, so she just remained cute. That was all it was. Or that's all it would be. So anyway. I go home. I had to get the bus, and then I have to walk a few blocks before I get home because the bus, we were out in the country, and there was no bus service all the way to get to our house. It wasn't bad. It was like about 5-10 blocks to walk. I come waltzing into the house, and there's Mom and Dad all spiffed up to go to the graduation. So, Mom starts crying right away. Dad says, you've been drinking, haven't you? You've been drinking. I said, I had a couple with Don. And that seemed to pacify him, and he calmed down right away. And he says, you're going to get some coffee into you. So he pours a black cup of coffee for me. No sugar, no cream, nothing. And I think it's been on there since in the morning. And it's about 4:30 now. I don't feel too good. Room's kind of spinning. I'm hungry. And the effects of the alcohol are starting to slowly wear off. But made me kind of sleepy, to be honest with you. So anyway, Dad gives me the coffee and he fries me up. He says, I'm going to get some eggs into your stomach. Something to help sober you up for tonight. So he fries up 2 eggs, and by the time I got them, the yolks seemed to turn to sand. You could see a ton of pepper on it. I mean a ton of pepper. It was just plastered pepper. And it was stiff. The whole things were stiff. They were, he flipped them, and I hate them flipped. And he fried both sides. Over fried them, actually, because they were kind of a dark brown. Didn't look very good. So anyway, I ate those and I didn't feel too good after that. It's around 6 o'clock now. It's going to take us a little bit of time to get to back to the school, because at 7 o'clock there's still rush hour traffic going on in the city. So we leave. Mom's been really upset. I'm not sure. I think she was just proud that I was graduating, but I don't think so, honestly, now that I can look back. She was all upset because I was going to be the first one in the family to graduate. Nobody else did it before me. And they were so proud because I went back to school. I quit my job and went back to get a high school education. By then I knew that you had to have at least a high school education if you're going to get anywhere in life. But that's not really true either. So anyway, we get in the car and geez, I get to sit in the front. Mom piles into the back, and this is I think it's a 73 Ford Pinto. It wasn't a very nice car. It was slower than death. And but it was cheap on fuel. My dad just said, cheap, it's cheap on fuel. I can still remember him saying that. Off we go. We get into the main part of the city. We're not too far away now from the school. We're going to make it by, maybe 6:45 at least. Pretty good timing. We stop at a set of lights, and then it just hit me. I thought I was going to get sick. I reach for the door, the light changes green, and Dad just floors it. I'm getting sick, and I can't get the door to open up quite wide enough, and I started getting sick. The faster he went, the heavier the door seemed to get, and I was sick all over the side of the car. So anyway, we finally get to the school a couple of minutes later. My dad's just shaking his head, and I could tell he was pretty upset. I was surprised he didn't start crying like Mom. Anyway, I said, Dad, I gotta go and wait for Dawn in the front of the school. 7 o'clock sharp, there's Dawn's sister showing up. And I can see Dawn in the front seat. He's waving his arms like he's real glad to see me. The next thing he does, I get up. My dad shows up at the same time. And Dawn opens up his door and he falls flat out on his face right onto the sidewalk. He didn't even got his feet out of the car and he was gone. His hair was all wet. His sister must have put him in the shower and turned it on and got him all sorted out. Dawn didn't take the alcohol too good back then, as I recall. Anyway, my dad and me, we helped get Dawn uprighted, and we got him all sorted out before we went in. About 7:15. Anyway, the teacher comes up to us and says, I need gas soon. Says, where's your gowns? Where's your caps? I looked at Don and I thought, geez, we left them in the bar. We didn't even think about picking them up. Said, I don't know where they are. Because I knew, who knows where they are after they got to the bar. So anyway, they had lots of spares. They got outfitted, me and Don. They opened up the doors of the gym and we start walking out in our classrooms and we're all sitting, boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, the whole way down there. There must have been a couple of, I think there was like 300 graduation students. So we had all kinds of students graduating. It was a big school. It took all the rural kids from outside of the city, plus all the kids that live close to the school. So I get out there, and I can see my mom and dad standing there. Mom's crying still. She's been crying for hours, it seems. And my dad's got this "don't you frig up" look on his face. I could tell he was pretty serious about it, but he never did mention anything one way or another. So, I gotta watch out. Yeah, we could have lost the dog for that one. It looks like there's another one right here too. I don't think the government has any more of those signs. So, the graduation ceremony starts up. The principal of the school, he gets up there and he's yakking away, yakking away, and yakking away. And I can see Don not doing too good still. He looks like he's ready to fall asleep. To be honest with you, I was ready to fall asleep. So anyway, they're getting close to our names, and Don's sitting next to me beside a girl. And geez, if I did, remember I telling you about those pickled eggs? Well, I couldn't hold it in anymore. My stomach just kind of was, I thought it was either throw up. I wasn't sure what was going on. I knew I was having a medical condition. Anyway, I farted. Not loud and gross or anything like that, but just farted. Quietly as I could muster. The girl sitting to the left of me immediately starts gagging. And the girl beside me, she starts crying. And Don stands up, because our names are being called, and his knees went wobbly again, just like in the bar, and just like when we were outside the bar. Anyway, he reaches forward to the empty chairs that are in front of him to kind of stabilize himself. And that's those folding metal chairs, you know, like from the 1950s. It slides out from underneath him. Don comes crashing down to the floor. Boom. Knocks. You could see there was just chaos. I looked around, and I could see my dad. Now, he's half standing. He's glaring right at me like, "Don't you frig this up, Bob." And I get up. Me and the girl, one of the girls there, help steady Don to his feet, and off we go. We had to go out of the gym, make a left-hand turn, climb up a little set of stairs, and then out onto the stage you would go, where the principal was there, some politician, and I don't know who all else, and they were shaking your hands as we come out, and they give us this rolled up piece of paper, and you go down the center, and then you go back and sit down in your chair. And we got through it. It was funnier than hell. Don wasn't feeling too good, so he left right away. And Mom and Dad brought me home, and I changed my clothes. And they said, "Where are you going?" I said, "I gotta go find Don. It's our grad night. We're gonna go find a party." Well, off I go. It was a long night for me. Didn't look too good either when I got home in the morning. But all is well, and I graduated. That was the end of going to school until I became a teacher. But that's another day and another story. So, that's Stories with Bob. I hope you liked it. Hope you comment on it. My whole life has been a little bit of chaos. It's not easy some days. Oh, somebody's got the Ukrainian flag going. Good for them. We have a large amount of Ukrainians in Canada, and there's a lot of them, especially out west in Western Canada. Probably the biggest population outside of the Ukraine is just in around the city of Edmonton. Back in the day, whenever that was, when they were giving away government land, or the railways were giving away land so that they could populate the rail line with towns and settlers and everything, so they were giving away farmland. So they got a lot of Ukrainians out west. Everywhere you go to, there was Ukrainians, like in the school and here and there, even on the football teams. And you could tell a Ukrainian kid when he came to school if his parents were, devout Ukrainian, Canadian kind of people. Because they'd have pierogies and cabbage rolls and things like that in their lunch, where we would have sandwiches. Boy. And there was all kinds of Ukrainian restaurants out in Edmonton too at the time. Good people. I got lots of stories. My life has been chaos since as long as I remember. Just seem to get into this mischief all the time. And I don't really mean anybody any harm, but I guess I'm what you call an independent thinker. I independently think of things, but I don't necessarily think about the right thing at the right time. Man, these roads are getting rough. And this isn't bad enough. Now we're on the rocky road here, and it's a lot better than the other road. A lot of people pay higher taxes on that road. I don't know why they have to, but the road's a crap. Oh yeah, update on my toe. It's black from where the nail is all the way up to where it attaches the foot and around a little bit there. And I'm so glad that it wasn't a bigger piece of wood that landed on there. As it was big enough. But I'll be alright, I can bend it, so I was really worried that I broke it. And my dad, he died because of one of his toes. So that was playing in my mind. My dad had gangrene. He was so old around 87, 88, and his heart wasn't strong enough for them to do a proper operation on him. So they, I gotta go to Granny's house. All right. They just couldn't do anything for him, and it started to cause blood poisoning and whatever, and it started going up into his foot. They took him off his medications and just let him go, but I miss him. We always miss our parents when they're gone. And if anybody's out there is young enough, or even us guys like at our age, make peace with your parents and get out there and give them a hand. They might not have changed, but I'll tell you one thing, they sure appreciate every second that they can spend with you. Just like me, every second I can spend with my daughters and my son is precious. Even if I'm grumpy or whatever, we love your company. So if you've got any parents still living, get out there and go visit them if you can. We had a neighbor that was looking after our son as a babysitter. And her husband, Charlie, this is Donna and Charlie, he had Alzheimer's. But it was weird. Like, you could talk to him and he would agree with you and, shake his head. I think he always agreed with everything, but he used to his day was sitting in front of the television and watching baseball games. He loved it. He'd show you in the newspaper and everything. But I don't think he was with it, to tell you the truth, because sometimes the paper was upside down. Anyway, she got pretty frail all of a sudden. She was in her probably early 80s. And I thought, geez, she could probably be okay for a while. To put Charlie in a home to take that burden off of her. So she put him in the home, and then it wasn't too much longer after that. She decided to sell her home and move in with her husband, who didn't know who she was. So, long story short, I kept wanting to go and visit and say hello, and I did a couple of times. And just like that, Charlie passes away, and a week later she passed away. And it's like, you blew the only chance you had to say goodbye to them. And you had more excuses not to go and see them. The dog, the groceries, this and that. You never got to chuckle them up anymore. I used to get old Charlie laughing, man, I'm telling you. I thought he was going to pee his pants. Mostly it was because I was telling him about my old stories. Oh well. I got lots of stories. I'd rather talk about some of those things than current affairs, we'll say. And the Irvings, and the Spring, and the wars, and the bombing, all that kind of stuff. They're going to do it anyway. So today, Okay. I picked up the dog. I got everything done. And we're going to get a coffee and a couple of donuts to go home. Now I stopped at Dairy Queen and I got that 2 for $5 deal or whatever it was. So I got a fry, 2 cheeseburgers, and a medium pop. And I have a gift card, so I used that. And I owed her, she says you owe me 6 cents. So I gave her a dime, and she gives me a nickel back. Now, I've dealt with money in that before. I would have just asked for a nickel. In Canada, we don't count the pennies anymore. People are throwing pennies all over Hell's Half Acre, and you'd find them everywhere. I pick them up all the time. I must have got about $4 or $5 over a couple of years. Anyway, I couldn't eat the second burger. So I left it in the car. I did my Costco. Came back, did Walmart. And on the way back to get the dog at another place, there was a guy panhandling at the traffic signal. I gave him a burger. He says, here's a cheeseburger for you. Man, was he ever happy. The amount of change that guy probably gets in the tune of an hour, running back and forth at the traffic lights, getting a burger was like a big, what's like a $5 donation. And one thing is, you can't go buy drugs with that burger. Nobody's going to want to buy that burger off of him so he can use that money and go buy drugs. I think that's pretty good on my part. He was quite grateful, actually. I mean, it was lukewarm at the best, but it was still fresh. And we got Mom's peppers. Finally got the peppers. But brutal. We got green ones, we got red ones, and we got mixed ones. And we came up with a pretty damn good idea, actually. There was a radio show, the CBC, Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, for those of you who are not familiar with it. CBC is like the BBC, NBC, ABC, you know, all of that. So, they were talking about Newfoundland. It never dawned on me how bad it is. They said 90% of the food they get comes into the country, like the fresh stuff and all that. So apparently they've made in the communities, there's a movement for each community to start supplying their own food. And what they've done is they've built these greenhouses that they're using for growing fresh vegetables for the communities that may be there. And I thought, geez, that's a pretty damn good idea, because it's paying for itself. And I can't remember the exact thing that they're doing and using, but within the greenhouse, but it cost the guy $5 a month for energy, or for electricity for this thing. I thought that was pretty damn good, to tell you the truth. So, I have a large amount of property, 100 acres, plus another 15 acres somewhere else, but that's not here nor there. So anyway, I could turn in some of that into producing vegetables, even for the road, or just the local community for us. And that is good in a way that we don't have to go and chase into the stores here. I'm buying green peppers and stuff like that. Like they're $5 a pound. And it's not cheap. Okay, so what am I going to get here? 2 apple fritters and we don't want those. McDonald's. Got rid of the Dairy Queen. Oh, I got a Subway. They don't take that here. Alright. So. Plastique. What the hell here? Last time I stopped at Tim's. Okay, there she goes. It took them for freaking ever. Okay. A large triple,
Yep.
2 apple fritters,
Yep.
and a 10-pack of Timbits.
That's worth it?
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, sir.
All right, that'll be $7.50 a week, please.
Thank you, ma'am. $7.50. Well, check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Tim's cards. I got enough to cover it. Car's washed. I weaseled out of that last time. Oh, what's going on with this guy? Oh, mask on. We still got to use our masks till the beginning of the month, but I'm not sure exactly what all that is. The government's got it all frigged up. Right, Storm? Oh, look, there's a puppy behind you. Yes. Last week going into the city, I almost got freaking creamed by, I think it was a little Morris Minor. Guy wasn't paying attention, had a dog in his lap, being a lap dog and all. So anyway, Tim's, the #1 coffee joint in Canada. Oh, my mobile's going off. You got free Wi-Fi. Alright. I'm glad Storm's not all excited here. Alright. Okie dokie. Alright. Uh-oh. Now what the hell? Some old guy all frigged up. Is he in the store now or what? Yep, there he is. What the hell's he doing there? All right.
I'm gonna print your receipt so we can see how much is left on that card.
That's okay.
Alright, there's your receipt. You still have $42.51 on that gift card.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There's your ticket.
All right.
There's one of the apple trimmers.
Okay.
Triple triple. And I'm just gonna grab the other one for you right now.
Okay. All right. Oh, look, here he comes. $42 left on that card. Woohoo.
There's the other apple trimmer.
Thanks, bud.
That's it.
You too, sir. Oh, where's this guy going? Come on, for freak's sakes, Pops. Oh, there's Hope. He's moving. He's moving. Keep going. And watch this. I'll have to follow him all the way home. Go left. Go left. No. 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 Go left. No. Maybe. No. He's going right. Alright. Go straight. I gotta go left. Holy jeez, man. What's wrong with you? Alright, here we go. Timbits. You ever wonder where all the holes, the donuts go? They go as Timbits here. Here we go. Alrighty. Now, yeah, we got too much stuff in the front seat just so that Storms has all that space in the back. But we'll eat the donut and we got no nappies. Oh, yummy. Cinnamon too. And a glaze. It'll take a while to chew this thing. This is a big bugger. About the size of a pocketbook. We got the old girl one. She probably would have preferred the burger, but oh, good. So here we are. We're on our way home. It's been a pretty eventful day in its way. It's 4 o'clock. Jeep looks like $1 million until we get to the Dorn Ridge Road. Now, I mentioned a long time ago in a video about using Google Maps to see where I'm at. For example, one of my followers, he's from Hanover, place just south of Boston. He told me that. I zoomed in and on Google Maps and looked around. Nice community. Another place called Allentown. Another nice community. Then I look around at the surrounding area to see what kind of businesses there is and stuff like that. It's just interesting. So what's neat about our place, Google Maps never drove off the road to get there. They just drove past our road. It's okay. But if you put in our address, it doesn't take you to the right place. It takes you part way in the road, but you still got to go along quite a bit further. Which brings me back to another point of another topic that I sometimes talk about. talk about our road. It's gravel, I think, for 7 or 11 kilometers. My wife's on these politicians steady. Since she's done it, we've managed to get the road almost completely ditched. Quite a bit of gravel, maybe 300 truckloads, but it's not enough. Our road basically was just a freaking horse trail. And there's pictures of more than what I showed, with the grader off the road. They couldn't get down there with the snowplow. That was even after we moved in. There was, what else? Oh, people, they couldn't go to work because the car was stuck in the mud as soon as they got onto the road. But since my wife got on their case, it's improved quite a bit. Now, our latest politician, I don't know what he's doing. He seems to be pretty slack. He's the guy I contacted a couple of weeks ago to get some freaking signs put up where the big bumps are. That way people have a chance to slow down. It won't be long before some kid gets hurt. A new bus driver with the kids in it loses control. You know, heaven forbid. One of the women on our road rolled her van. All because the government doesn't fix the road properly. This one here was just upgraded a couple of years ago. But if you see, or if you watch the road while we're driving home, you'll see a lot of places that they haven't bothered to fix. So I gotta be careful. I think I'm just gonna go home just the same old way. Instead of going up the way I came, because there is some really nasty freaking bumps on that other road the way I came in the city this morning. Now I'm going to get some climate control going here. Front window's fogging up. Almost finished the donut. And I don't like drinking coffee at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But I might stay up today. Sometimes I sleep on the couch if I can. We got a recliner. It's really nice and warm there. Alright. I bought a 20-kilogram bag of flour. As I can see, it won't be long before stores are going to be running out of every friggin' thing. This is the most I've paid to fill up this Jeep since I got it. I think it was $1.51 a liter, and it cost me $108, and we still had a quarter tank of gas left. So that pushes it up to about maybe $130 to fill this thing up. Not only were they talking about greenhouses, they were talking about these new electric cars. And I did spot a RAV4 car. It was right in front of me at the pump. Not a bad little thing. We were going to buy one of those, but I couldn't quite fit in it. We also looked at a 4Runner. Didn't fit. Didn't like the idea anyway. So we ended up getting another Grand Cherokee. I really wanted to get a Jeep, you know. But I didn't fit in that no more either. It's not because I got a big body. I've just got a big body. Or a big belly. I got a big body. Thus, I'm having a hard time finding coveralls. I might try ordering them online from someplace in the United States. And they're about a quarter of the price that I have to pay for them here. We'll see. Plus, I gotta get some proper boots. And I don't really want to get a pair of lace-up boots. And pull-on boots, I got 2 pairs of them. For the summer kind of use. And they don't offer any ankle support. And my feet roll around inside the shoes. So it makes walking around in the woods tricky. And the last thing I need to do is fall down because I have a hard time getting back to my feet again. I would imagine a lot of older people are like that. So if you haven't thought about getting into a little bit of shape, I highly suggest it. Even take some yoga with the girls, boys. We got 2 yoga instructors on my road, but I really don't want to take my time to go and do the yoga thing and have sore knees and sore elbows and whatever back. Well, you have to contort. Oh wow, coffee's hot today. Usually when I get a coffee from there, I've got it finished before I even leave town. Because you can just drink it. It's so cold. Or it's not. It's lukewarm. So here we are. We're at the landing, and shortly will be what they consider the area of Burtts Corner. Oh, that guy's losing all his siding. That vinyl siding is crap. If I had the money, I would have done cedar, board and bat. Now that we've got quite a bit of cedar down over the hill, maybe, possibility, my son can do it when he gets up with the house. That's a greenhouse there. I don't know how they heat it. Just a dump. Oh, that tree's had better days. What's this woman walking? Snowshoes. Oh, there's a big hole. And there we go. This usually floods here in the spring, which is not too far away. We're down below the dam here, and in the spring when all the runoff comes, which might not be bad this year because of we only got about a foot of snow left, ish, or less. And when that all melts, it won't be so bad on the dam this year. Because like I say, usually the dam has to let out the water so that they don't have to open up the emergency gates. They just lower the water so that they can be ready for when the next batch of water is coming down. It's pretty, after I think it's 50, 60 years or something like that. Since the 60s they've had that dam. They can keep track of and have a good knowledge on where to keep the level of the upper reservoir. Then we call that the head pond. So when it rains, and they expect a big rain, they just drop the head pond level down, whatever, and then the rain gets into the head pond. It doesn't cause a problem. Downstream's a problem, but if by maintaining that level, they can also help prevent some of the flooding. But some years it don't work out that way. And we have a lot of clear cuts now. So the sun beats down into the clear cut. It's first to melt. That water just runs right off into the water system. And then in the summertime, it can't hold any moisture because the trees are all gone. It's a vicious cycle. So we could end up with fires in the summer, floods in the spring. All the while, the guy that owns all that property doesn't even live here. So it don't bother him at all. Little yapping away here. Coffee coming out the top of the cup. Up here is where we get the wood, our firewood delivered from. And he's got quite a pile of trees back there. Of course, Storm's got the windows all steamed up. I can't see out the side. And hopefully, these dogs might like a tidbit when we get home. Safely. Coffee went down the wrong way. And I'm just going to get home and relax. My hockey team watched the game last night. They've won 5 in a row. They lost 10 or 11 in a row just before the 5 in a row. Of course, it took a new general manager, new assistant general manager, new coach, traded off a couple of guys, traded off some more. We got something like 4 or 5 draft picks in the first round. So we could end up with, technically, a pretty good team to build the next Stanley Cup for. But you never know. The old buddy there in, he lives in Ontario, and he's the, well, we're both at Mintz, but it's his website. Our Montreal Canadian fan site. So anyway, well, this guy has got his maple buckets out yet. Ooh, look at this. Oh, I want one of them. I forgot the lottery ticket. So I guess we're not getting one this week. This area here was huge for logging 100 years ago. That's why the rail line goes through here. Oh, is that a cop? Nope. And that's water's coming up pretty good. The rail line was just down below, but they decommissioned it. They kept some of it, and Irving, that has all the property here, he runs his own private train on it. Ooh, look at that. This is the speed bump. Nasty. Alrighty, let's go this way. These guys aren't spending any money on their Burtts store, the mom and pop shop. These guys got to be out by the end of the month, next month I think. Oh, there's the one deer. I keep my eyes peeled here because there's he's going to be our new living on the Dorn Ridge Road. Which isn't too far from here. Yep. Oh, I wouldn't want that car. Not spring around here. I haven't been down here for a while, so I don't know where the bumps might be. This fan's blowing to paint the band here. There we go. -1. Oh, wow. We set a couple of temperatures for warmness this winter. I guess we'll have to wait until next winter. Oh, jeez. Ready to go home, Storm? You smell like a freaking poodle. Oh, there's some guy up there walking away there. I think it's a woman. There we go. The nose is all freaking goofy. Alright. And here we are, the Dorn Ridge. Of course, like I said, the Google car there was doing taking all the street view. They just kept on going. And here it is. There. That's probably the worst one. We'll have to wait till, probably May before that thing settles down. Then the politician will come out here and look at the road and say, there's nothing wrong with this road. And he will only go up so far and turn around and wonder why the hell are these people complaining about. If it all looked like this right to the very end, nobody would be complaining about it. But I don't know, I just don't get it. Okay. There, that's a little better now. Well, like it getting it too hot for Storm in here or the other dogs. And I'll have to take Bear in a couple of weeks, she said. I also verified with the girl today, she said, sweetheart, that they get to keep all their own tips. Makes sense, but not all places do that. For example, some restaurants. Now, I don't get it. and this ain't right. If I go into